Okay, hello my friend. Hopefully you are doing great. So in this tutorial, I'm gonna show you how to handle exception in Java. So you create a new package with the name lesson 17 and you uh, create just a class with the name um, elementary calculator. We are going to make some calculation for elementary level. Okay, so first thing, just put a main method and try to understand what is an exception, and then we will try to handle it. Okay, so for example, if I have something like this, for example, I put to something like scanner. Let me put something like I will print out something like please. No, we don't need to do anything. Let me do something simple. So, okay. So, for example, you have integer 8 equal 2, and you also have the integer b equal 0. So, you want to print out something like the integer result divided result, something like that, equal a divided by 2, a divided by b, okay? And then you want to print out the result here. So a result divide result here. So it's a very basic thing in math that you can recognize that you cannot divide by any number 0 here. So you see it's invalid here. But in a real program, when you allow user to input something, for example, you allow user to input 2 parameters to make something like subtraction, multiple, or divide method. So sometimes by mistake, they will enter a 0 or something like invalid thing. So in that case, we will have an exception. For example, I will try to print out something like your result is, and then you will see what happened. Just run this program first. So you see exception in main here divides by 0, and we cannot see this statement printed out. It's because when you see any exception here, and if you don't if you don't handle it, so that means the rest of your code cannot be executed. So if you put something like this, integer divide here, let me declare here, equal 0 or something like that, and then you will put something like try, and try here, and then you get, just put a catch 40 here. So inside the try here, you will assign device result equal a divided by b, and then inside you get an exception. Exception have the name exception, or just simple a letter E should be good enough. So inside you see if, so if everything okay, you will print out something inside the try block. If not, you will print out you input an invalid number, something like that, and then I will print out something continue in code here. So in this case, because you already handle an exception by a try and a catch block, so what does that mean? In the try block, you do something, and if there is some exception, it will catch here. So that means the catch block just be executed when we have some exception. So if we don't have any exception, the catch block will be never executed. It just executed here, and then it will execute the rest of your code. So in case you have some exception, it will execute the try block first, and then because we have some exception, so it will execute the catch block here, and finally it will execute the rest of your code. So that means your application is not correct. It's not stopped at the middle here. So if you try to run again, you still see this error, but you still see this statement. You see, your input invalid number here. This is the catch block, and then we can see the continue here. Okay, so this is the way we use the try catch to handle an exception. So if you do something, and maybe if you throw an exception, you need to use a try catch block, right? So for example, if you create a new method inside the class, I put inside. So for example, you have in this class, we will have the integer private, integer number 1, and we will have private integer number 2. I will generate some sester for both of them. I don't want to get generate gesture because I just want to have something like price only. So that means I just want to set the value inside, but I don't want to get outside. I just provide some public methods for user can call. So for example, we have a public integer divide to number, something like that. And then inside here, we will try to do something like integer divide result equal -1 here first, and then I will do something try. I will assign divide result equal this dot integer this dot number 1 divided by this dot number 2 here, and I will try to catch exception. Here I will throw. I don't think I can throw here because we need to return something. Okay, anyway, I will return divide result at the end here, and I will throw new error with the content will be the exception to string, something like that. And then in the main method, from outside, I will declare integer 8, integer number 1 equal 1, and integer number 2 equal 0 again. But in this case, I will try to create a new instance from elementary calculator. Elementary and calculator equal new elementary calculator. By the way, sorry for any background noise around if you hear anything. Okay. Element calculator dot set number 1 is number 1 value, and let's set the number 2 value is number 2 value here. Then finally, I will do something elementary dot divide to number, and I will declare something like integer divide results equal this one. And then you see, because we have the try and the catch here, and then finally we can return something inside, but because we throw a new error exception here, but we didn't try catch here, so just run first, and then you will see what happened, and then we can improve our program here, and you run it. So you see, we face the exception again, because inside here we throw a new exception, but here we didn't use try catch. So when you use some you know, when you use some other methods from another class, and in this method, they throw something in the catch block. That means you need to try catch again when you use it. For example, you need to do something like this. For example, let me do, okay, so let me declare a Boolean value is something like is error, something like that, something like has error equal false by default, and I will declare integer equal minus 1 here. Then what I do, I will cut this one, delete it, and I will try. And then I put a catch block here, exception, error here. So inside, I will try to assign the divide result by calling the divide two numbers here, methods here, but because it have a catch block, and if an error happened, it will throw a new error. So that means if you go to this catch block, in this case, I will reassign has error equal true. So that means there's some error inside, right? So it's go to the catch block. And then after that, I will and true, and then let me see, I will declare another, you know, string error equal something new here first, and then after I reassign, I will assign the error message. I mean, let me refresh for the name error message here for meaning value variable. So error message will be equal the exception dot to string to get the contents inside. So if out of this one, if has error, so that means in the catch block here, if has error, I will print out error, and then I will plus with error message here. Else, I will print out something like your result is, and percentage d, and then I will put the divide result here. Okay, so let's try to run this program, and in now you will see a different results. Okay, let's see. Try this one, catch exception, throw new error. This will throw here, and then we try, and then we catch here. Has error equal true. So that means we will print this one error to message. So strange. Let's try to debug a little. I want to print out error happen. Here, it should go here. Technically, let's run again. Oh, it's not going here. It's not going inside this one. Okay, let's see what happened. So we have it should be try here, and then we catch here. If we have an exception, if you throw a new error out, and then just print, put something inside. Yeah, we see it inside here. So after I throw out, and then I try this one, and then I catch an exception, catch an error. Okay, let's try to catch the exception type exactly like this one. maybe the different for the exception type. Okay, I got it. So here, this will go here inside, but because I make a mistake because I threw an error, a new error type here. So if I catch, I should catch the exactly thing here. Okay, I need to catch the exactly thing here. If not, I will not catch the exception, the right exception type, and then that means I cannot catch the right thing. So I cannot trigger the logic inside because I threw new error here, not a normal exception. So if you want to throw an exception, try to put something back. Okay, I will tell you how. Put back to exception, and then you run. In this case, you will got the exception type here, and then you just copy it, and then you will throw new exactly the exception type here, you see here. And the outside, when you get the exception, you will just put the exception here. You don't need to specify exactly this one because this one will extend. We will tell in detail what it extend. But I mean, this one is inherits from exception. So when I catch something from exception from the parent class, it should catch the subclass inside. So I don't need to change anything inside here. So it will print out something inside here, and I will see the error. So you see, different. But if I throw error here, this error is not from the exception type, so I cannot catch it anyway. So run again. You see, different. So just put back here. Okay. So let's summary first. And then in another lesson, I will tell you how to build a custom user-defined exception. So we call something, this one is the built-in exception. That means the built-in, that means the Java language already provide us some exception type. So we call it the built-in exception. But you also can create some exception customization for yourself, and you need to inherit from the exception. So after the inheritance lesson, I will tell you how to customize a user-defined exception customize. Okay. So summary first. If you put something in the try the catch block here, you will be able to, continue to execute the rest of your code. If you don't put anything in the try catch block, when you have something, some error happen in your program, it will stop at that point. So that means you cannot execute the rest of your code, and maybe you in a bigger program and you don't know what is the problem. But in this case, for example, you catch something inside here and you even put something like the error message, or you can trigger some other logic, but your system will be not crashed by just missing try catch. Okay, so this is the way we throw a new exception outside. For example, you provide some method from your class and you want to throw some exception outside, and then when you use it in another place, you just catch the same exception type, or you just simply catch the exception. That will be good enough. But you throw something like not exception, like an error, like I make a mistake before, you cannot catch the exception correctly to trigger your logic. Okay, so try to practice yourself and see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.